Good morning. It's a very beautiful, blessed morning from the Lord. Yesterday I was talking about the love chapter. Hold on. Sorry about that. And I decided to do a little research in a study Bible I have, but also looking it up online. And what's interesting is, this is where I go back to, that's why I said the American English version of it isn't that good of a translation, because there are some versions, like the King James Version, that has it instead of faith, hope, and love. It's faith, hope, and charity. When you insert the word charity, it truly changes the definition of everything. Because when you think of charity, you're more apt to be willing to help someone, to do the right thing, to basically help the less fortunate, you know. But when you hear love, that's where I think people got it confused. And that's sort of a big problem with a lot of things, you know. And the way things are going, you have to be very careful. So, is it faith, hope, and charity, or faith, hope, and love? What I challenged you to do, that actually do watch, if you do read that chapter, and you're always reading with charity, try it with love. If you're always reading with love, try charity and see what's going on. I know I don't talk about a lot what's going on in current events, because, current events are current events, and everything's that's going to happen has been foretold. I was just listening to an older pastor who unfortunately passed away by the name of Billy Graham. And one thing, and a lot of pastors talked about this too. But one thing I didn't realize is what Billy Graham had said was, you take the book of Daniel, put it on one side, the book of Revelation on another, because they're both prophetic books and they're tied together. I never realized that. But he also said, put your newspaper right there in the middle, and you'll see how all three are tied together. Which is true. And you're probably going, well, how does this tie into 1 Corinthians 13? It does, because of the fact that, I want you to think about it. Charity or love, which is it? Do you have a charitable heart or a lovable heart? A lot of people say, I have no problems helping someone, but then when push comes to shove, they don't do it. So the person that needs to help is now placed in a awkward position where they may have to ask someone else that they really don't want to, because you promised. So you're no longer being a charitable person. Or some people say, well, you no longer love me. I prefer to look at it as you're no longer being charitable. And again, this is personal. I like to view it that way, because I am far from perfect. I really am. And a lot of it has to do with, I did things in my past that I'm not proud of. But I also didn't want to burden somebody else with my mistakes and be treated like a charity case, because that's I think that's where we get a little confused, is when we hear the word charity case, we automatically think some sort of financial obligation, when that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes they just need an ear. They just need somebody to listen to. And that's what I try to do. So again, am I being wrong for that person? Because, it's like, oh, I don't love that person because, according to this letter that Paul sent to the Corinth church, it says faith, hope, and love. But if you know anybody that knows Greek, and you're my one of two subscribers, by the way, thank you to both of you. Whoever was first, you're the real OG, and you're coming in second, you're an OG too. You know, just shocked that people actually want to hear the ramblings of somebody that just has a little camera phone and walks around. But if you do know someone that can find the original Greek version of that letter and come close to giving them proper translation of what Paul was saying, I think that would help a lot. So it's either charity or love. But those get intertwined so badly, though. Because, you know, we sit there and say, oh, we must not love someone because you're not going to give them charity, or you must really love someone because the amount of charity. Why are we putting those things together? I'm just being honest. Why are we putting those things together? That's the thing that we need to look at. You know, it's not so much as it love or charity, but which is, how much do you love yourself? How much charity, how much grace do you give yourself? Because I know a lot of people that have addiction issues, and honestly, you guys really beat yourselves up pretty bad, because you know what you're doing, but you're afraid to seek the help. And that's where the charity and love come in. Not necessarily financial charity, but just time. Think how much time can be charitable to someone. If you're able to just sit there and give somebody all that time, you know, to you it may not seem like anything. It's 5 minutes, or, you know, maybe an hour, and to you it's like, you know, it's no big deal, I had that to spare. But what if that, to that person, that makes the difference? You know, because it's time. You listened. You were charitable, and in your charity you showed them love and grace. And that's what it boils down to, folks. So maybe I was wrong about 1 Corinthians, but maybe I'm not. But ultimately, charity is the one that you need more so than love. Because if you truly love someone, you'll give them charity. And by charity, you'll be generous to that person. You'll grant them grace like God has given us grace. You'll listen, you'll help that person. You won't condemn them. Too many times we're quick to condemn. You know? But I'm getting a book today. I wish I could remember the author's name, but you can look him up. It looks like a good book. Looks like a good Christian book for a lot of men to read, not just people with addiction issues or men with addiction issues, but just men in general. And the book is called From Broken Boy to Mended Man. Hopefully I'll be getting it today, so when I do, after I finish reading it, I'll let you know what it's like. If you get a chance, I think, pretty sure I saw the author on a YouTube channel called Broken Boots or Broken Horse. But all I have to do is type in the title and you'll see him. And he just gives a very brief overview, from what I can tell, of the book. He doesn't really go in depth, fortunately. But there's some questions that he asked, and I'm not going to get into them. But I think they're very pertinent. And another thing to a lot of you guys out there, if you're going to a church, find a men's group. If there isn't a men's group happening, ask how to start one. Because I don't know if you can read it, see? Iron sharpens iron. It's in Proverbs. Basically, we make each other stronger and sharper, and we can withstand the attacks from the enemy. You know, I don't sing very well, so the one thing I'm going to leave you with, other than 1 Corinthians 13, is read Psalm 23. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in cool pastures. His rod and thy staff comfort me. I got to go back to studying more of that one. But read it, and then look for the subtle context clues in here of what David's really saying. All right, that's all for today. And like I said, shout out to the 2 people that have subscribed to me. Thank you. Thank you, seriously, thank you. If you guys can, or if you want, just leave a comment. And if you don't like my videos, that's okay. If you do, or if you think want to hear something in particular, just let me know. Just leave a comment. All right. Have a wonderful day.